So like I mentioned, that conversation with the landlord at the time was December, and it was about to be New Year's. New Year's hit. I think like sometime like in the first week of January, we got the keys, and we were in this space, and we're just like in this huge storefront. At the time, it looked huge. It was just the two of us in there, nothing else, like no plants, nothing, no furniture. And we're just kind of like, yo, what do we do? How do we? No, yeah, I was just like, at what point do we put, simple questions, like, at what point do we put paper on the wall, on the windows, so we can start building out the space? And then I was just like, why do people do that? Like, questions like that, just I've
never encountered before.
I've never met anyone that like opened a shop, a retail shop. So we put paper on the windows just because we thought that was the thing to do. That's what businesses do, And I was like, I'm not sure if it's just to build like momentum or like this wonder. Yeah, this wonder in people's mind as to like what it will be. Later on I'll find out it's because people are doing projects inside that they probably shouldn't be, or that's part of it, Yeah. Prevent people from just breaking in and taking things like tools, stuff like that, But yeah, we just started kind of working at it, and like I remember the hardest part was like trying to find that layout of like how the shop would flow, like how when someone walked in, what is this that they would first see, what it is, how it would be for them to like walk through the aisles.
So this is like the first time you're thinking of a floor plan, like a design.
Exactly.
Layout,
yeah.
Luckily,
a whole new, a little bit of a new. Like I said, when everything that I had done in the past, like I said, everything I had done up to this point was just like little learning moments for me to like, everything I know and all the experiences, good and bad, have come to this moment for me to do this,
Perfect alignment.
Yeah, it felt like almost like I don't know, like a movie-ish in a way. It was just like
this is exactly what was supposed to happen.
Like in the movies where like someone's like about to make that like winning touchdown or like score that last goal or whatever. It kind of felt like that was just like everything that I've learned has come to this. So in high school, originally I wanted to be an architect. So in high school at Lane Tech, I did architectural drafting classes.
Very creative mind.
I guess from the get, yeah. And I had done these classes, and that was my major in high school because it was a college prep school.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn AutoCAD and like I forgot what Google program was called then at the time, where like, you had to like build these interiors and exteriors of homes and create floor plans to scale, but like miniature version.
So this was
This was years before, like you know what I mean? Like I had never applied that knowledge ever again in my life past that, and I was like, dope, I know how to do this.
You took the class for.
Yeah, this is what I took that class for, And yeah, I hopped on like a free program. I don't even know which one. Measured out the room, created, icons or whatever they're called to like move around in the shop. I made to the right proportions a person and how they would move, and like if two people could cross in one path,
Using the knowledge you learned from way before.
From high school, dude. Like, it was a program that I really loved when I was in high school. I remember like being like pretty good at it and being good at architectural drafting class to the point where like I was not great at English and writing papers. So I would trade work with students, be like, yo, like write my paper, I'll make your drawings, like I'll like model this home for you or whatever.
Small transactions.
Dude, yeah. And I remember to the point where like I almost failed my architectural classing or my architectural drafting class at the end before graduating because I had slacked off and like been interested in other things, graffiti for one, photography, things like that. But I started focusing so much on interior design versus what the actual base of the class was, which was just architectural drafting. So I remember one time getting a paper back, it was like an F, and the teacher wrote like, if this was an interior design class though, this would be an A+. And I was like, oh, like it's not that I don't want to do it, I'm just focusing my energy on something else.
There's already like so many different paths
you're taking. Man, so anyways, that's how we ended up figuring out the floor plan of the shop, and luckily had like this gentleman, this older like friend of Rachel's, be like, hey, I can build you these tables, so like just buy me the material. So we had the measurements for those tables, and we're able to build them and come up with this floor plan that's been there since day one now. You know, like I've thought about like reorganizing, changing the shop, but I'm like, man, that seems like this is how it started. Like, why not keep it? But anyways, yeah, we're like leading up to March 1st, and there was this event put on by, I'm pretty sure it was put on by a friend of mine that when I used to photograph parties, like back in the day, he used to throw parties. So he would have like organized DJs, set up DJs, find locations, and then I would go and photograph these parties. His name's Fernando Nieto, who now actually does Michelada Fest. He does all these massive fests, still doing it, you know. So I remember he had something called Dia de la Concha. It was just this little event in Pilsen at Talia Hall, I believe. Not little event, it was pretty big. It ended up being this huge event. And Juan and I were like, awesome. That'll be like our marketing launch point, you know, like let's print flyers that have a coupon code in the back, announcing the opening of Plant Shop Chicago. I think this event was in February, or maybe even January. And we had an address. I think we came up with a phone number, Instagram. So, and we built terrariums that day, and like that's what we were selling that day, you know. And we were like really pushing ourselves and branding ourselves for people to come, and people did. And man, surprisingly, from that event, like handing out flyers, like these little postcard flyers, people brought them in, you know, for like whatever time the flyer was or the coupon was active, and like people cashed them in, and I don't know. Yeah. So leading up the night before, I actually had a meeting with, not the night before, I had a meeting with Tony from Adams & Son, just to be like, yo, I was like, can I buy a beer? So we went to Pitchfork to hang out, and I was like, you know, I want to bring something up, like I've been at your shop all this time hanging out, and I was like, I don't want you to think that I was just there like scheming and scoping, like I really wasn't. I was like, but I think I want to open up a plant shop, and I just want to tell you first before I announce it to anyone.
You wanted to just be like super transparent.
Yeah, I wanted to be transparent. I wanted to make sure that, you know, we remain cool, and I didn't want to burn that bridge because I respect them so much even to this day, you know, and I just wanted to be like, yo, I'm opening a shop and I want you to know about it. I don't want you to think that I just went behind your back.
Right, like the entire time I was just trying to steal.
Yeah, exactly. Because I really wasn't. I was just there because I love being there. And I remember we were just had a beer each, and he's just like, as I'm telling him this, he's just got like a straight face, nothing, no expression. He's just like, grabs his beer, drinks some of his beer, and somehow he had like a piece of paper and a pen in his pocket. Just somehow, I'm pretty sure. And he takes it out and like starts writing some notes and contacts down. And he's like, here, call this person. They can help you with plants. Call this person. They can help you with like trucking lines and get you plants into your shop. And he's just like,
gonna take a different route.
Yo, no.
He heard it and was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah, he was like, you should do it. He's like, if you build it, they will come. Like, he literally said those words. Like, if you build it, they will come. And I was like, yeah, I was kind of mind blown. I didn't know what he was gonna say, you know. And he was just like, do it, man. That's awesome. He's like, he was just like, look, I love being a plant shop owner. I love being a small business owner. He's like, I get to see my fam, this and that, you know. So I don't know. It was just, I don't know, like almost like a blessing, bro. Like he snapped. And I used his contacts for like the first year of Plant Shop. You know, he really did set me up for like success. And I used his contacts to like me and Juan were able to like plan a trip to Florida because that's where most plants come from, and meet growers and meet new growers that we didn't have contacts from, and grow, you know. And that's just kind of how we did it. But I reached out to these contacts he gave me, and they're just all old school, you know, like just an old school way of working. I don't even think there was like necessarily email transactions. Some of them were like fax us your order. We're like, we don't have fax. Like, we don't even got a phone. We're using Google Voice, you know. Like,
super old school, super like
very old school stuff. And so 2 days before March 1st, we're just like no plants in the shop. We have a few little plants here and there, but something happened with our order and the truck lines, and it got delayed. So we're literally 2 days before March 1st. There's no plants in there. Right before grand opening. We're just waiting on this truck to show up with plants.
Already did all the marketing.
Yeah, already did everything, you know. So I had just told Juan, I was like, we're just going to open March 1st, man. Regardless of what, we just have to open. Like, we told everyone we're opening. And luckily the plant showed up, so we were up the night before till like 2 in the morning, just like
Getting ready.
pricing everything, you know, getting the plants out, like working our POS system. It was the first time we were ever gonna do that. You know, me and Juan had never worked at a plant shop before,
Yeah.
or a floor, or anywhere like that. So yeah, that was night before. We had like good people around us. We had our homie Oscar, who we've known forever through like graffiti, who was working on becoming a mechanic at that time. He pulled up to like help out. You know, his girlfriend at the time, or his girlfriend now, it's like pulled up too to help us. My homie Ramiro, like my cousin Jeff, like there's just
Everybody
people
came
there,
through,
just
yeah.
people there, like, yo, what do you need? You know, like, what do you need us to do? We're just like, yo, just put plants out, like put them out, you know.
It's a really good support system.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, March 1st rolled around, and you know, 11 a.m. hit. That's when we were gonna open. 11 a.m. hit. Just me and Juan in the shop, and opened doors. And there was one customer there because we have been promoting a variegated Monstera for a minute, and she was the first person. She walked in. I think she
Very
bought two.
tiny.
Yeah, she bought two of those plants. That was her first transaction. A few other transactions later, and then here comes Tony from Adams and Son, like as a customer just to visit. It was just like mad support, you know. Like he had his own shop to run that day. He had to be at work that day, but like
Still came through.
and that was just like, yo, like this is dope, you know.
It's
Like I
that
want this.
unspoken like blessing. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like go ahead, do this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. Just this blessing of like, I will come and support and buy plants from you, you know. And it was nothing crazy. It's not like any plant he bought there he could have gotten somewhere from a grower, you know, at
Right.
wholesale. But he just pulled up, and I don't know, it felt good. Like I think that moment specifically, seeing homies come through that day, just felt like it just like built this thing of like, I want to do this. I want more of this, you know, like
Yeah.
this is dope. I'm gonna close shop today, and I've worked for myself a full day, and didn't even have to worry about clocking in or clocking out because it didn't matter, you know.
You're just ready. You're just like, dude, I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, and it's like it's a surreal, like I don't really have words for that feeling of like, I don't know, just opening doors and like having transactions. Like that's, I don't know, it's just a cool.
It's
a
like
great
something you
feeling.
put so much work into
Mhm.
where it's working.
Yeah.
You're like, you just put everything was
Yeah.
supposed to,
And people just saying, you know, like, yo, this is awesome, I'm proud of you, like things like that. And it's like looking back at photos of that day one, I was like, damn, this shop looked like shit. Like there was nothing anywhere, you know. It was just
you
like,
can easily tell from the outside.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just too new.
yeah, too new. The walls are, you know, bare and clean, and no scuff marks or
Yeah.
water stains from plants being up on walls. But yeah, I'm just.
And so at this time, this was 2018, right?
This is 2018, March 1st, 2018.
2018.